No TV show loves a late-season twist more than Landman. At the end of the first season, Jon Hamm's character suffered from a sudden heart attack and threw an entire plot about battling the cartels for land rights off a cliff. Tommy Norris, Billy Bob Thornton, assumed the role of MTEC's president, Cami Miller turned into a new pain in his ass, and Andy Garcia's cartel leader became nearly an entirely new guy named Danny Morrill. So, when Landman Season 2 shocked viewers with another sharp left turn in Episode 9, all hell broke loose. If you missed it, Cami fired Tommy, basically, for doing his job. He built his entire reputation on successfully putting out potential fires before they could harm the company. But Cami, new to the business and a walking fire hazard herself, played the game a bit too reckless for Tommy's liking. So, she gave him the boot, just like that. Now, fans are racking their brains to try and figure out what our Landman will do in the Season 2 finale to either regain his job or seek revenge. At the end of Episode 9, Tommy doesn't respond at all when Cami fires him. He's stunned, and rightly so. Monty, Hamm, seemed to trust him with the business for years and years before his death. For some reason, Cami doesn't value his expertise the same way. Now that she's fired him in Episode 9, fans believe that there's no coming back for her character. I am fairly certain that something goes wrong on the offshore, catastrophic, one fan predicted on Reddit. Cami chose her bed by entering into a financial partnership with Galeno and it will destroy her, another commenter added. Either Cami will see the error of her ways, or it will be her downfall. If Cami loses out, then it's possible that Tommy figures out a way to take over MTEX himself. It's possible that he goes into business with Danny himself to potentially buy her out or cast her out for mismanagement. Either way, maybe fans believe that Tommy partnering with Danny is his only option. After all, Garcia's new villain told Tommy that they would eventually be friends in the Season 1 finale when he saved his life. I made a pretty sizable investment with Cami, an investment you'll lose, Morrill tells Tommy, waving around a document in his office. If you lose this, the thing you love the most, that's the first thing I'll take. That's a serious threat from Morrill. Whatever Tommy barters for in the finale must have a lot at stake. At the beginning of Season 2, Tommy's son Cooper struck oil on 6 wells. The too-good-to-be-true miracle was proven by the fact that Cooper got screwed out of his money signing terrible contracts with Morrill, which forced Tommy and MTEX to buy out the contracts and take over Cooper's operation. Some fans believe that Tommy might be done with MTEX after his firing, and that he would never work with Morrill to save it. Tommy and Cooper buy MTEX and change the name to MTEX Norris instead, one fan theorized in the comments of our Episode 9 recap. With Tommy's knowledge and Cooper's gut, they will get rich and then get out before the fall. Tommy will join his son's operation, and they will hit it big as a result of Cooper's oil-finding instincts, another fan wrote, ending their prediction thought with a boom. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with a finale that took pieces from every option above. When characters say things on TV like "we will see each other again" or "you will regret this," it's usually not just a threat, it's foreshadowing. Tommy asking Danny for his help to take over the company from Cami feels like the logical next step. Then, Season 3 can cover how their dangerous new partnership might come to bite Tommy in the ass. After all, I don't see Tommy hanging up his boots and calling it quits anytime soon. Landman is already renewed for Season 3, so I could also imagine the series leaving fans with another great cliffhanger to keep the theories coming until next year. We'll find out what happens next when the Landman Season 2 finale airs on Paramount Plus on Sunday, January 18th. The only mystery remaining about Johnny's attempted rape of Ariana is what the consequences of the altercation are going to be. Cooper was defending Ariana, but he also continued to hit Johnny long after the fight was done, and he audibly said he intended to kill the man. The entire alley was within the view of a security camera, as well, and since Barney called the police, they're likely going to want to look at that footage. Right now, it looks like Cooper is going to face legal repercussions from defending Ariana. Johnny will go to jail for assault and attempted rape, but Cooper could easily also get assault charges and a personal lawsuit from Johnny. There are, however, 2 ways he could get out of this. Tommy and Cami could throw their weight and money around to get the police to release Cooper. Alternatively, Barney could lose the security tapes to protect Cooper and Ariana. The other big but not as surprising development of Landman Season 2, Episode 9 was Cami firing Tommy. And what about the Roughnecks? What about Cooper? What about everyone who works with Tommy every day and respects the hell out of him? Oh, they'll continue working for MTEX because the money is good, but will they be doing their best? Tommy brings that out of them. We already saw how Cooper handles the Roughnecks, and it's not pretty. There is a certain finesse required to handle men like those, and Cami doesn't have it. Will whoever she hires to take Tommy's place have it? Will anyone know MTEX as well as Tommy does be available to step into his boots? Hell no. Cami is out there making pageantry out of rig placement. That's hardly a measure for success in the field. So much can go wrong here, and finally, I'm interested again. Of course, Sheridan could have this new development last no longer than an episode. Tommy could go crawling back to Cami. Galeno could demand Tommy be rehired. Cami could come to her senses. There is a lot that could happen to ruin my potential good time. I just hope it doesn't. And no, I didn't forget that Ariana got attacked. I just saw it coming from about 5 minutes into the episode. Landman Season 2, Episode 7 is the strongest example of what's been missing from the Paramount Plus show the second time around. Forever is an Instant has a few moments that are genuinely moving. But those moments are undercut by instances of inappropriate humor, making it feel like two different shows in the same hour. On the positive side, Rebecca's fling with Charlie becomes relevant to the main plot, so audiences finally understand its point. The fact that she slept with someone who's technically a subordinate is a potential issue for MTEX, as Rebecca learns their new drilling plan has a very low chance of success. Nathan decides it's best for the company to litigate the case after all, but that puts her on the hook. This is huge for Rebecca, who values her professional reputation as her identity, and actor Kayla Wallace is wonderful as Rebecca emotes. She and Billy Bob Thornton have a fantastic scene in which Rebecca confesses to Tommy and expects the worst. Tommy responds by reassuring Rebecca and even confronting Nathan about forcing her to sign a conflict disclosure form, which is miles away from where Rebecca and Tommy's dynamic was in Season 1. Charlie also got a big update this week. Rebecca slept over at Charlie's camper in Landman Season 2, Episode 6, and after calling Charlie instead of Charles, Nate figured out that she was sleeping with him. Nate then forced Rebecca to sign a conflict form to let MTEX's leadership know that she had a sexual relationship with a subordinate. Rebecca was very upset at having to sign the conflict form, as it was an official document saying that she had broken company policy and slept with one of her employees. Even though Tommy assured her that she wouldn't be fired for it, this could still have a big impact on Landman. Tommy told Nate that he should reconsider airing out Rebecca's dirty laundry, and he may have a point. Rebecca could easily construe Nate's conflict form as an attack. As Tommy mentioned, no one wants Rebecca as an enemy, and she may decide to retaliate against Nate after this. Even if she isn't fired, her relationship with Charlie is going on an official professional record, and Rebecca's career is the most important thing in her life. Nate and Rebecca may be going to war before Landman Season 2 is over. Landman's newest romantic pairing, between Rebecca and Charlie, also got a big update this week. Rebecca slept over at Charlie's camper in Landman Season 2, Episode 6, and after calling Charlie instead of Charles, Nate figured out that she was sleeping with him. Nate then forced Rebecca to sign a conflict form to let MTEX's leadership know that she had a sexual relationship with a subordinate. Rebecca was very upset at having to sign the conflict form, as it was an official document saying that she had broken company policy and slept with one of her employees. Even though Tommy assured her that she wouldn't be fired for it, this could still have a big impact on Landman. Tommy told Nate that he should reconsider airing out Rebecca's dirty laundry, and he may have a point. Rebecca could easily construe Nate's conflict form as an attack. As Tommy mentioned, no one wants Rebecca as an enemy, and she may decide to retaliate against Nate after this. Even if she isn't fired, her relationship with Charlie is going on an official professional record, and Rebecca's career is the most important thing in her life. Nate and Rebecca may be going to war before Landman Season 2 is over. For a healthy relationship. I thought Cooper and Ariana's romance should have waited for Landman Season 2 so they could have more time to grieve. It wasn't even the societal norms that bugged me about their relationship as much as it was the trauma they both shared. I thought their relationship could be nothing but unhealthy because they both had such fresh trauma that they hadn't properly processed. Ariana lost her husband and the father of her child, while Cooper watched 3 men die and was nearly beaten to death. It didn't seem like a great foundation for a healthy relationship. I thought Cooper and Ariana's romance should have waited for Landman Season 2 so they could have more time to grieve. A pair of young people who are simply clinging to each other to avoid thinking about a traumatic event don't have such a realistic view of the future. If Cooper and Ariana were just trying to block out their pain, she wouldn't have even entertained the idea that Cooper might not love her. Landman has convinced me that Ariana and Cooper are more than capable of handling their relationship in a mature way, and I agree with Ariana that it's worth figuring out. Even if they end up realizing it was a mistake down the line, I now think their relationship is at least worth exploring. Ariana's explanation of what her and Cooper's relationship is made their story going forward in Landman much easier to understand. Now, they're not 2 kids who are stupidly falling in love at the wrong time, they're 2 adults who are trying to make sense of a whirlwind situation. Likewise, if Cooper gets targeted by Manuel and Antonio's friends again, it won't be the result of a mistake, it will be the result of a conscious decision to give their relationship a chance despite the odds. I think their relationship just got a lot more compelling, and I fully support whatever Landman has in store for Cooper and Ariana, but wants to fire Cooper. Rebecca points out that's wrongful termination, and illegal, but it doesn't matter because Cooper quits right then and there. After he hangs up, Monty's heart starts doing weird things in his chest, and I'm pretty sure it's not growing 3 sizes. In a last-ditch effort, Rebecca explains that Ariana can never sue MTEX for anything if she agrees to take the money. Ariana asks Cooper what to do, and he advises her to sign the agreement. Rebecca is a big jerk to both of them on her way out, though Nathan is much kinder. "You quit your job over me," Ariana says, in tears, after they've gone. "I'm going to run an oil company one day, and I'm not going to run it like that," Cooper responds. They're both having some pretty big emotions as she keeps crying, lamenting that it's too soon to feel what I feel for you. But when Cooper suggests that they wait a while, she says she doesn't want to, and that she's going to fix up the spare room for him. Later, when he's in pain, as he tries to put his shirt on after a shower, she comes to help him. She admits that she doesn't see the upside of his new situation, out of work, beat up and living with her. "Looking at you is the upside," he says quietly, "and is it any wonder they're kissing soon after?" They're interrupted again, him, frustrating pattern we're establishing. Maybe it's not a pattern. It's God warning us to stop. By a knock at the door, it's Tommy, who has pieced together what happened after talking with Nathan and Monty. Ariana invites him to stay for dinner and won't let him go. Ryder takes Ainsley on a date to go swimming in a reservoir lit by the gas flare from a nearby oil derrick. She decides that she likes him, and that she's going to test him. So she brings him to the nursing home where she and her mom have been volunteering, and she's delighted when he enthusiastically plays a game with some of the residents. She confides in one of the older women that she wanted to make sure that Ryder was interested in her for more than just sex. The hour seems like a turning point for Ariana and Cooper, so we couldn't wait to talk to Paulina Chavez, who plays Ariana, about what might come next. Read on for her thoughts about why Cooper became Ariana's rock, how Billy Bob Thornton likes his Mexican food and more. I've changed my mind about Ariana and Cooper Norris's relationship after Landman Season 1, Episode 8, and now I think they deserve to be together. Ever since the blowout that killed a big chunk of the cast of Landman, Cooper and Ariana were essentially destined to date. Cooper started helping Ariana around her house, cutting her grass and helping her with her bills. Then, in Landman Episode 7, the two finally kissed after Cooper started staying at Ariana's house to recover from his injuries. While I didn't agree with it then, I've changed my mind now. I'm not the only person who had a problem with Ariana and Cooper having a relationship so quickly after the blowout. Rebecca, Kayla Wallace, was furious with them, and even tried to intimidate Cooper into signing the settlement agreement for much less than it was worth. LVO's friends even tried to kill Cooper for growing close to Ariana, and even Tommy, Billy Bob Thornton, couldn't understand why they were together. The couple did, however, manage to change his mind in Landman Episode 8, and they actually changed mine as well. At first, I thought Cooper and Ariana were rushing into their relationship. As Rebecca pointed out, in the span of just 3 weeks, Ariana went from being married to Elvio to sleeping in the same bed as Cooper. Their entire relationship felt rushed, which wasn't helped by the fact that there were constantly outside pressures putting them under even more stress. From Manuel, J.R. Villarreal, and Antonio, Octavio Rodriguez, constantly trying to scare Cooper away to the settlement Rebecca has been trying to get Ariana to sign, Cooper and Ariana just didn't seem to have enough time to actually form a strong bond. 12. Whatever has been growing between Landman's Cooper and Ariana since the series' 3rd episode turns into something real, if undefinable by both parties, in Sunday's hour. Rebecca kicks off the episode by getting Cooper alone in Ariana's backyard and using every bit of that self-assured intensity she displayed during the deposition. The money MTEX is offering, she says, is enough to set up Ariana and her son for a long time. But if the widow wants to seek damages from the company, well, then we must scrutinize everything. Every family, she threatens. And this? I mean, do you have any idea how bad this looks? Husband dead less than a month and you're sleeping in his king bed? The one person who survived the explosion completely unscathed? She insinuates that he knew exactly what he was doing on the day of the explosion and, in fact, set it up to kill Elvio. I will crucify you to destroy her, and I do mean to destroy, she continues, even though Cooper argues that nothing she's saying is true. I reject your truth, Rebecca replies. I think I'll invent my own. Inside, she and Nathan try once more to get Ariana to accept their settlement, but the young mom wants to know what Cooper thinks. $1 million, he says. You weren't standing on that doorstep this morning at 7 a.m. because you're sitting on a strong case. He points out that the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, and other regulatory agencies would have a field day with the accident. Also, he's sure MTEX hasn't told their insurance company about it. They're cornered. As Rebecca fumes, Nathan calls Monty. They've barely begun when Tommy asks what, exactly, they're doing. Ariana says they're trying to figure it out, getting angry as she points out that the 22-year-old worm on a workover crew would not be my solution to her problems. She does not back down under Tommy's scrutiny, explaining that Elvio was nice, but Elvio never looked at me the way Cooper looks at me. Not once, ever. She's on a roll, and it's not long before she's firmly suggesting that Tommy be on his way. Judge me all you want from that truck, but I will not be judged in my own king house, she says, moving him toward the door. For his part, Tommy seems equal parts amused and admiring of the widow. Son, he tells Cooper as he leaves, you might have outkicked your coverage on this one. Then he lets Ariana know that he thinks she's one of the few people who actually deserves happiness, and takes off. Tommy then heads to the Patch Cafe, where she repeats her insinuation from earlier. Cooper had the knowledge and wherewithal to get the pump jack to explode, and she can prove it in court. Tommy gets mad, fast, threatening her and kicking the bastard out from underneath her as he leaves. Elsewhere in the episode. The Texas governor agrees to Monty's request to have the Texas National Guard train in the area where they're having problems with the cartel. The idea, a strong militaristic presence will deter drug activity on oil company property. It goes sideways, though, when the Guard practices air assaults in the area where a drug transfer is underway, and one of the explosions blows up a van, killing at least one person. Monty's chest pain doesn't go away, and he winds up in the hospital after having his 5th heart attack.